We are back with another deal of the week breakdown, but this time we're in a different location. I think if you were watching it in timeline, the last time I was in Ibiza doing a deal of the week breakdown. Now we're actually in Alameda, California, inside an actual active flip while they're doing all of the demolition work. And I'm here with one of my friends, a realtor partner, Roberto Saldana.
Appreciate it.
Who I thank you for, first of all, for bringing us here. I think it's cool just to be able to do a live deal of the week breakdown for you guys so you can see it in action. We have a lot of clients of ours that are real estate investors, flippers, wholesalers, and just in total, it's if you can shed some light behind the deal and see how it actually happens, then you're going to be able to know how you can get into your next deal, saving the most money out of pocket. I want you to take us through the numbers.
Sure thing.
And we'll literally do it here because
let's make it.
We'll make class in session for you guys, right?
Class in session.
Yeah, let's do. I don't know if you can see it. Deal of
the week.
Why don't we start? I'll take you guys through what a typical scenario in this situation would look like, right? But we'll also walk you through the real numbers of what you're actually doing on the deal.
Absolutely.
So
let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
So this is an on-market property that we bought. We definitely had to be competitive on it. I was trying to look up the original listing price, compare it versus what we actually bought it for, but there's like poor signal here. We purchased it for $690.
Cool. Awesome. For this kind of property.
For this location, absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's see. So obviously the biggest thing here is going to be considering our ARV.
Yeah.
As in any flip, obviously the ARV says a lot. There's a lot of factors though. One being location. Mm-hmm. Being across recently new builds, but we wanted to stick obviously to this side of the road. Seeing that there was a few comps in the area, not many, but definitely strong ones. One, I believe it's like a block down, had sold for 1.7. This is about 2 months ago now because we're in some time. So there was a few other ones, but we're being very conservative in our numbers. We actually ended up going 1.3.
Wow,
in our numbers.
Okay.
Even though ARV, I believe, came from the appraiser.
Yeah.
We had to get an appraisal on this one. I believe ARV for them had come in at 1.35, 1.4.
Okay.
So we came in a little
conservative numbers.
Very conservative, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, we could even use that if I was saying their appraisal came in at 1.4.
Okay.
First of all, I mean, just your purchase price, your ARV to purchase price ratio is crazy. You're like less than half. You're like less than 50%.
Yeah.
Of your purchase price.
Obviously, considering that this is a pretty big renovation and considering the area of what kind of renovations need to have happen for this to be possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, you could say, somewhat of a full good job while trying to keep costs down, of course. Yeah. We aim for a 250 to 280 kind of rehab budget. And this is assuming that the lender will also finance as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, just purchase price plus renovations, we're at right around 900.
For this one, we had a 10% down payment.
Okay. 10%, which is only $69K.
That's correct. Assuming closing costs about 3%.
Right, for the 3%.
Hard money points, 1.75.
Okay.
So 13.
That's not included into the 3%?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
And then interest on the property for the loan itself, 10.75. And then timeline, we want to talk about timeline as well.
Yep.
So timeline-wise, project itself, we're looking at about 4 to 5 month timeline project. And then considering another month on the market and another month to close. So an additional
7 months total.
7 months, right.
Yeah.
Just to be very conservative with everything.
100%. Mm-hmm. Something to keep in mind because a lot of people will miss holding costs, right?
Absolutely.
There goes all your profits if you don't pay attention to
absolutely.
it. So it's definitely something you want to factor in. If you're doing a huge renovation project, you need to know how long you're going to be holding the property, what your monthly payments are going to be, if you have property tax payments that are coming up, if you get a builder's risk policy or something along those lines for insurance. So super important.
So looking at about 180 days in total, holding time would be about 32,000, call it 33.
33,000, yeah. Mm-hmm.
In just interest payments.
Yeah, just interest payments.
Right.
That's crazy.
Because that's not including, there's also utility bills, insurance we paid up front.
Okay.
On the purchase.
On the closing costs?
Correct.
Yeah.
That was about $2,200, I believe.
Okay. $2,200 for the year.
Mm-hmm.
for the policy.
Right.
But if you cancel that policy sooner, you'll get some of that money back. Whatever, we don't really have to account for that.
All right.
I mean, we can still run under the
Oh,
assumption.
you want to run it just as this right now?
No. We can run it under the assumption that we sell at 1.4. Obviously, the goal would be to go higher.
Right.
But even if we were conservative with the numbers at 1.4, we would still see crazy equity.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a six-figure spread there.
100%. 1.4. Okay. What did you have calculated out for the sale?
For the sale, closing costs about $13K. Now, splitting the two commissions, because the partner that I have on this deal is also a licensed realtor.
Okay.
So they'll be taking slightly a cut at 2% versus 2.5% or 3%.
Yeah.
And then the buyer's agent will be giving out the full 2.5%.
So total
32.
4.5?
Correct.
Yeah.
4.5.
63K? Amazing.
We're assuming no seller credits as of right now.
Yeah.
There's no HOA in this area, so we don't have any other fees there. I think that's it for resale. Just closing costs total, and then our commission that will pay out.
Minus the total. So, I mean, if we're at 1.4 minus your purchase price of 690, right? So 1.4 minus the 690, and then we're also subtracting out. I overestimated for you on 280 for the rehab, right? Which you'll probably be closer to 250.
Right.
That'll just be more money that you can pocket. Minus the 280, minus the closing costs here that we had of 21,000. So that was like the purchase closing costs, not including the points for the loan, which is another 13,700. We could take that out of here. Insurance as well, which was paid out, included in the closing costs already for $2,200. We have holding costs of $33,000 that we want to account for as well. So that leaves us with a total of $362. Now for the sale, we also want to factor in closing costs from the seller side of what needs to be paid out, in addition to the commission for the agents on the sale. So in total, which is still conservative, remember this is insane, right? Is
Always be conservative.
$286,000 conservatively. I mean, you're probably estimating closer to like 1.6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
This is assuming we keep it at 2-1.
yeah,
By the way.
correct. Yeah. So
So it is definitely more towards
that's insane.
1.6.
Can easily turn into a $500,000 profit on just one deal.
honestly, yes.
That's insane.
Honestly, yes. Now, there's a lot of factors though. It all sounds nice on paper, but this is what we said, 4 to 5 months
Yeah.
from as of a month or two ago. We're still in the demolition phase.
Yeah.
Right? We still have to work with the city as far as permits. Assuming another 3-4 months, that will put us right around what, November?
Yeah. End of the
So
year.
entering into kind of a slower season.
People don't really want to move in the winter.
Exactly. So there's a lot of factors still, even though it does seem nice on paper or on the wall. There's a lot of factors, but we're just being very conservative as far as all the numbers, as we always should be
Yeah.
whenever we're running a flip.
It's also not factoring in any market fluctuations. Like interest rates this year haven't fluctuated. If anything, they've maybe slightly increased.
Right.
We're estimating maybe in the next 2 to 3 quarters that will probably have some sort of interest rate drops, which could lead to more buyer activity for you anyways in the wintertime. Sending this, like you already even potentially have a buyer.
Exactly.
People that were already wanting to come in and we're already initially offering on this deal.
Exactly.
So I feel like there's still, as much as we love conservative numbers, I always tell my investors, like every single person who's running deals should be running under a conservative estimate no matter what. Like you could even double your timeline here, just saying if the city of Alameda was like, we're going to take double the amount of time for permitting and delay and double your holding costs, and it's still barely even touching your profits, which is crazy.
And 2 more things that I'll even mention, will leave some value for the viewers. Number 1, we start selling the property since day 1. Meaning every time we come here, obviously post about it, blah, blah, blah. It's not really coming soon yet, but there's still attention on it. And that has happened to every single of my other flips. There's already interest from the start.
Of course.
So you can already start pre-selling it, even though it's like not done yet or even started yet.
Yeah.
The second thing is, as far as market-wise, when putting on the market, we could sell it or put it on the market, around the winter season, maybe get lower for ARV, or wait until end of January, early February, and then try to see if we can get it higher.
Yeah.
So there's different ways you can play about it, but now we have to factor in our holding costs also going up. So depending on what that does to it.
No, this is killer.
Yeah.
What's more interesting, I think, is the fact that you found the property on the market. So like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's still a lot of people.
Not myself. I have to give credit to the partner. They were the one who found it, but yeah.
Which ultimately I think it's one of those things that like there are still deals to be found. I feel like a lot of investors talk about the fact that you can't find a deal if it's not coming off market. And like,
that is very true.
Yes, as much as there's a plus to having the agents and the pool of people that you know who is like, hey, I found these deals, go check it out and try to get something under contract. But that's not on the market. You can still find deals that are on the market that have a bunch of value add potential.
1000%.
This is awesome. How does it feel to? I'm sure this is probably one of that's like.
This is one of the biggest one. Yeah, the biggest one that I've even seen. Like the first time I ran the numbers, I was like,
"There's no way."
I think I messed up somewhere. I messed up somewhere to see this kind of But it seems legit. And once again, we were conservative in every single area.
Yeah,
every single area. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense, assuming everything goes well with the project, of course.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. One of the things that's interesting to talk about here is that this property had a lot of activity when you were originally looking at it.
At least 4 or 5 other offers.
Okay. So, I mean, that probably means that it had maybe more than double the amount of people who were actually looking at the property anyways before even submitting an offer. And there's 2 different kinds of things here that I would see that people would typically structure for financing. I think the first one, which is the route that you took and the route that I would have taken, is getting a private money loan, having a lender that's going to be able to give you 90% of the property's value. Their after repair value here is more than high enough in order to tie in all of the financing for renovations. So like this $280K can be funded by the lender for them to be able to do the entire renovation project and actually go through the entire phase, getting their money back out at the very end. One other one, which would probably more common for an area like this, is people who are putting a lower down payment, but buying it as a primary residence to live in and also getting the funding for the renovations. I was actually just talking to another investor of mine yesterday about a loan program called an FHA 203K loan, which allows for you to tie in the costs for renovations into the loan. The difference is that you're doing it as a primary residence for you to live in, and you're already getting the loan at the exit. Like you don't have to worry about refinancing if you were going to keep it in a situation like this. We're getting a private money loan. Private money loans are meant to be super short term. They're like 6 months, 12 months, 18-month term that you're going to have on a private money loan. And the idea is that you want to exit when you're done. So in this situation, the exit is the sale, and it's a multiple 6-figure exit at that. Yeah, this is killer. I'm excited to see the progress for you in the entire project. Yeah,
absolutely, man.
Yeah, now you get to take this and go buy 3 more.
Seriously, man. Well, now we got to go buy some rental properties to offset that taxes, man.
100%. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you bringing this. I think it's cool to just shed some light behind the way that the numbers actually work for people and that deals are still possible, kind of regardless of the market that you're in.
1000%, always.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
Instagram primarily, but also on YouTube. Roberto Saldana.
I appreciate it. I'm going to continue to take you guys through more deals of the week. Live action, so just like this one, where we're writing it live here on what's actually happening on this specific deal, and just take you through the process and show you that things are actually more possible than they really are. I know you talk a lot about on your channel on how flips are possible for people, and it's not that difficult to get into real estate as long as you can understand the numbers and you have the resources of the network of people that are around you to be able to make you successful.
Absolutely. And just keeping it simple.
Exactly.
You don't gotta be smart.
That's right. Yeah. We will see you guys in the next deal of the week. When you're with me, shawty, you can't do wrong.